Imagine a wall of water, over 400 feet high, thundering across the Pacific Northwest at speeds of up to 80 miles per hour. It sounds like a scene from a disaster movie, right? Well, this was real, happening over and over again during the Ice Age. Oregon's landscape would never be the same. Our story begins in Montana, where an enormous ice dam held back a massive lake, Glacial Lake Missoula. But nature, like an impatient toddler, had a habit of breaking things. Every so often, the dam would give away, unleashing a cataclysmic flood that tore through Idaho, Washington, and of course, Oregon. One of the most dramatic results? The Columbia River Gorge. Carved by repeated floods. This breathtaking chasm wasn't made overnight. It was sculpted by hundreds of violent mega floods. Think of it as nature's version of power washing, but on an epic scale. But it wasn't all destruction. These floods also delivered the ultimate care package. Nutrient-rich silt and soil, perfect for farming. Today, the Willamette Valley is one of the most productive agricultural regions in the country thanks to the gift of the flood deposit soils. Seriously, if the Missoula Floods had a Yelp review, the farmers would give it 5 stars. From world-class Pinot Noir grapes to towering hazelnut trees, the valley's fertile soil supports a staggering variety of crops. If you've ever enjoyed a glass of Oregon wine or munched on local blueberries, you can thank a prehistoric flood for the flavor. Cheers to chaos. But not everywhere was so lucky. The flood left scars too, like the channeled scablands in eastern Washington, where torrents of water stripped away soil, leaving behind a barren, rocky landscape. If Mars had a cousin on Earth, this would be it. And then there are the mystery boulders, some weighing tens of tons, scattered in the middle of nowhere. How did they get there? They hitched a ride on icebergs carried by the floodwaters. When the ice melted, the boulders dropped like forgotten luggage. These are called erratics, and yes, they're as cool as they sound. Even Oregon's famous mountains played a role. Mount Hood, the state's highest peak, watched over the floods like a silent guardian. Though it wasn't directly carved by the waters, the floods reshaped the landscape around it, influencing the rivers and valleys we see today. So the next time you're admiring the Columbia River Gorge, sipping on an Oregon wine, or hiking through the fertile valleys, remember, it all started with a massive prehistoric plumbing disaster. The Missoula Floods, destructive, yes, but also Oregon's most unexpected gardener. Thanks for watching, and if you ever time travel back to the Ice Age, remember to bring a boat.